not only can we handle the quarantine, I think we can still hold ourselves to high standards. We can still certainly have goals and start working on them. We can have our low days, and we can also rise above that, and we can also continue to push ourselves during this time. It all comes down to willpower, I think. And willpower it's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. So the more you practice doing hard things, I think the better we get at them. And you can apply this to so many sectors of your life. I will apply this to training. Just when for example, a plank or a push-up starts to get really hard, I'll tell myself I can do hard things. I will push past that physical exertion and that feeling of exhaustion, and that's okay. It's okay to push yourself. I think a lot of times we like to stay comfortable, and I feel that's a big kind of social notion that... Good morning, you guys. It's a new day, so I'm gonna put on a little bit of makeup. I'm not even gonna call it makeup. I'm gonna put on brows, lashes, concealer. Just a little something, because I feel like I just feel more, I don't know, put together or something when I make a teensy bit of effort. I'm still in sweatpants, but we're just putting on a little bit of something. Sunscreen. I need to put on sunscreen. So guys, it's been an intense morning, and I finally did something I have been wanting to do for some time now, actually since the beginning of quarantine, because I have not been feeling like myself. I feel like I've been having just days, a lot of off days, a lot of sad days, a lot of down days, a lot of unmotivated days, a lot of frustrated days. So it was time to do something about it. So I finally got a therapist, and I'm really actually proud to say that, because I thought about it for so long, and I've had a few therapists in the past, but and they weren't bad experiences, but it wasn't something I necessarily looked forward to doing, and I don't think I clicked with them. So I'm really happy about the person I did find. Maybe one day I'll bring her on the podcast, because I think she's great and we've had one session, but she's helped me realize a lot of things thus far already. One of them being that you are not your thoughts, and that anxiety, oftentimes it comes from certain traumas we've had in our life. And we're just excited to share that I found somebody and that I took the leap, because I thought about it for weeks and weeks, and I don't know why I felt embarrassed to tell my primary care doctor that I wanted to find somebody. We actually had a little visit, and she asked how I was doing, and I just said fine, and acted like everything was all good and that I wasn't struggling. And it took me a couple weeks to kind of get up the courage to email her and say, I'd like to talk to somebody. I'm struggling, and I think that's hard to admit, as progressive as our society is. And it's just amazing, like, how much we're told it's okay to have anxiety, it's okay to need somebody, therapy is, a positive thing. I don't know why there's still a stigma around it. And I think the second hardest part, aside from actually admitting I wanted to talk to somebody, was trusting that I would find somebody who was a fit. So my doctor responded right away. She sent me a link to a bunch of therapists that were in my network, and I looked through them, and I was immediately drawn to this one person because she went to my university, Chapman, in Orange County. And just reading her bio, it seemed like she had kind of a holistic approach to her practice. She incorporates mindfulness, a lot of like imagery and visualization, and she specializes in anxiety, family trauma, things with body image. I think a lot of things that are pertinent to a lot of young women and me. So I related to her. And she is out of Newport, which is actually, again, where I went to college. And it's just like a special place. Like, I'm sure you have that place. If you think about like the one place you feel safe, happy, you're drawn to, it's almost like a second home, or somewhere you almost consider more of a home than where you live. So that's what Newport in Orange County is to me. It's where my mom lives. I have so many great memories there from school. I was talking to a friend the night before about whether I should sign up for the therapy. I was going back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not? Am I ready? I think the hardest part about it is knowing the weight of the things you need to talk about. And I think it's just something a lot of times we don't want to get into. We'd rather sweep it under the rug. It's easier that way than confronting a lot of things and working on yourself. Working on yourself is a life's work. It's hard, and it's hard to look inward, but I think I kind of have been realizing in quarantine, well, I don't have things to distract myself. I think we're all kind of having to turn inward and face some things. So I think I realized certain things about my mental health are holding me back from things I want to do in my life, the way I talk to people, trips I want to go on, career items, just how I cope with disappointments, all that stuff. I feel like I want to improve on so that I can be my highest self, so that I can achieve what I want to achieve. And I don't want to let the mental side of things interfere with business and just things I want for myself, things I want out of my relationship. So I decided it was kind of like the responsible thing to do. So therapy, I think it's great. And that is my PSA. That is my news for the day. I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup here. And if anyone's struggling, I don't know, maybe that inspires somebody else to go through with it, to talk to somebody. There's no shame. I think everyone can benefit from it. And even talking to the therapist, she was like, yeah, my days are really booked up now. This is really hard. You're not the only one feeling this way at all, which was kind of nice to hear. I'm using the Bare Minerals concealer. And a little bit goes a long way. By the way, you guys, I watch a lot of vlogs and I watch a lot of makeup videos, and I see a lot of people leaving their makeup brushes in open containers out on their vanity because it looks really cute. But tip I have as an esthetician is to keep them in a little container so that they do not collect dirt and dust and bacteria. Hi, babe. And secondly, I am an advocate for brushes over beauty blenders, makeup sponges, because they are porous and they do collect a lot of bacteria. So brushes I think are great because you can keep them a bit cleaner. Not a perfect world, but I think they're much easier to keep cleaner. I'm going in with the Tarte Opening Act Lash Primer. I love this stuff. Oh, actually I have something else, a new makeup item to show you guys. Brown mascara, especially if you are fair, blonde hair, complexion. I love the brown because I think it's so subtle and I think it really complements
blue eyes, and it's almost softer. I think everyone should try it, because I used to just be all about like the blacker mascara the better. And my fashion friend turned me onto the brown, because it's just a lot more subtle, but you still get the impact. It's almost like just more, I don't know, glossy and natural, and looks kind of like a tint, which I really love. And when I wore it, my boyfriend really liked it. Like, he didn't know what I did differently, but he just kept saying I looked really pretty. And the only thing I did different was the mascara. I'm gonna make a smoothie, so I'll show you guys what I make. This is like every other vlog I do. I'm sorry for the repetition. It's just state of my life. So I would call this like a strawberry vanilla flax protein shake. It's not anything pretty to look at, but it's good. Adding greens and spinach always makes it ugly, but it's a sacrifice I make. Do it for the health. I'm gonna bring Dylan one of these since he's on a call. He likes to do his little work on my little balcony. So I'm gonna bring this to him. Had a podcast planned for the day with a doctor of medical aesthetics. I was really excited to talk to her, but we're gonna have to postpone. So thinking about, since Lauren isn't available this week, she's dealing with a bunch of moving stuff, and she's just not able. She's not available. So thinking about recording a solo episode, possibly related to anxiety. I'm just having trouble like consolidating my thoughts so I can make them more of like helpful tips, because again, I don't want to make it about myself. I want it to be helpful for you guys. But comment below if you're watching this and you listen to the podcast, or you might want to listen to the podcast. Comment below something that would be helpful for you to hear about, whether it's skin related or about personal life stuff, anything you think would be helpful, a message you need to hear right now, because I feel like that's kind of just my intention. I want to put a positive message out there, because I know we're all going through it right now in quarantine. So if you're watching this, you're not alone. I want to be here for you as much as possible. I feel for you. I feel it myself. So nobody is alone in this. We all just have different ways of coping. That was another thing my therapist pointed out. She said, we're all going through it. Everyone just has different ways of dealing with it. Some people are more reactive, but it's affecting us all for sure. And we don't even know long term how it will affect us. So we just have to do our best. I think be gracious with yourself right now. Be gentle with yourself. And I don't think that has to mean you don't set goals for yourself and you don't keep yourself accountable, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like a lot of my happiness is tied to progress, and that doesn't have to be work progress. It just feeling like I'm moving forward in life in general. Like even like having that appointment today. That was a big win for me. It doesn't have to mean you're moving mountains, you're getting promotions, you're making more money, doing grand gestures. I think it's just like setting small goals for yourself. I think that instills a lot of confidence. So I want to be a voice to push you guys to do that. Just know that you can do hard things. You've done them before. Quarantine is a hard thing, but we can do it. We can handle this. Do set goals for yourself. I'm looking at my planner right now. I'm about to write some things down that I need to accomplish today, and we're gonna make some moves. So if you're watching this, get your planner out. Everyone should have one. I think there's something to be said for pen and paper. Aired our episode on productivity, so if you're struggling in quarantine with getting things done, have a listen to that. But one of our top tips is to actually write things down. And I like to write out 6 things in order of most importance to least and tackle them that way. So I'm going to do that. We decided to get out of the house and treat ourselves on a Friday. I don't know, something about this week, we're just exhausted emotionally, physically, and I haven't been feeling like cooking and cleaning, because when we do cook, I feel like it's a production. We get really into it. We get excited, like making our portion of the meal for each other. Usually a lot of dishes, very messy kitchen, and I was just in the mood for some sushi. So Dylan's running in to get it. I'm so excited. I also haven't been out of the house, you guys, in months. Like, it's crazy how getting in the car and driving 5 minutes is like a highlight or like an adventure to me now. But there's something to be said for a good drive. So I'll show you the sushi when we get it.
My heart and hope to die. Lonely, you're the reason why I can feel those butterflies when I go to sleep at night.